Hi everyone, sorry for coming over during the waiting, and we are actually not going to be going live. We have some technical difficulties in the background. iRacing is giving us a hard time. So when we know what's going on, I will know you, or I will let you know, and I will update the timer on that. So I will set a 10-minute timer, and we'll be back in 10 if we don't have an update sooner. I hope everyone has a good time, and I'll hopefully this gets over real fast.
the driver got distracted and as a result got in an accident. In the scatter shoot self-defense, lost his memory at any expense. And then the witnesses went on to describe that in the window was a bearded guy. Now on the radio, TV, and the press release, they're looking for the bearded man. Because the man with the beard has a criminal mind. They're looking for the bearded man in the window.
I am Roland Johns. I am sim racing.
I'm Wes Fuller, driver the number 35, stand up to Cancer Ford. I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Cameron Peterson. I am sim racing.
What's going on? It's Rob Biotti from 4iRacing, driver the number 44 Toyota Camry, and I am sim racing.
Hello, I am Christopher Hamilton, and I am sim racing.
Hi, I'm Eric Andrews. I am sim racing.
We are sim racing.
And hello, everybody. Virtually coming to you from outside of Phoenix, Arizona. We're here at Wild Horse Pass. This is round number 5 of the iRacing Short Course Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. Hello, everybody. I'm Dave Arnold. I'll be joined alongside Randall Alvarez, and we're going to have a special guest in the booth, Scott Rain, coming in the house to call some of the action with us. But we've got lots of racing going on tonight. Qualifying still going on. Packed with drivers, all trying to get into the main event. It's limited how many numbers, and I do believe over 80 drivers trying to get into a race. If I do believe, Randall, 24 is what we're calling the numbers.
Yeah, so 24 is going to be for their feature event. I know that they're going to be pulling, I want to say it was the top 20 out of qualifying straight to the feature. I got to double check on that number just because we've changed the events, or we've changed the session slightly to accommodate all the drivers and to make sure that we have our lead pack runners in the main event and that everyone else isn't knocking them out in the sense of points and stuff like that. So if the guys are in the points or run for the points, they're going to be up there. For everyone else, they gotta go through the heat system and they got to make their way into the main event.
Well, they've got their work cut out for it. A lot of talent showing up in their sim rigs from all over the country, and in fact, I do believe we got some up north of the border that eventually join us sometimes. But Scott Rain, how you doing, buddy? Can you hear us?
I am so engrossed by what I'm watching right now on the monitor that I haven't even been listening to you, Dave.
Well, that's all right. You're sitting at home, and
this is beyond cool, guys.
Are you sitting in your sim?
I never imagined this could be happening on the computer. This is just crazy. I'm still back in the Pong era, you know?
Well, this is kind of like that. They bounce off each other sometimes.
Yeah, they do play a little ping pong. That's for sure. Well, I know you got a new computer being built and a sim rig ready to get going on that. And it sounds like you want to play yourself, but I'm glad, and hopefully you'll be able to join us for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Right now I feel like a fish out of water. I'm just hanging on tight right now, watching the action and listening to what you guys are saying and trying to navigate through this whole program. So please be patient. I'm hanging on. If you hear me kind of squealing a little bit, it's because I made a mistake somewhere. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay, Scott. I'm with you. I'll be your voice of reason.
Well, to be honest with you, right now, I'm hearing. I love two things about off-road racing: the sound and the sights. I love watching the suspensions work. I love hearing those engines scream. But I can barely hear you guys. So is that a good thing? Is that how this is going to work? I have no problem with.
We can adjust the volume.
Hey, we don't talk for anyone else to hear. We talk so we can hear ourselves.
That's why I have our mics the loudest. Yeah, so...
Yeah, there was a pucker factor.
We can actually adjust the sound settings later. I forgot to go over that with you. That was my bad.
Now, how cool is it to actually hear the sounds? I mean, it is so realistic. And like you said, the suspension working. You know, I get sometimes just my jaw drops going, dude, no way. Look at that thing just hook up through the rollers.
Yeah.
Did we lose Scott into a trance in the computer?
Scotty, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
If you ever feel like the audio is too loud, you can always go to the blimp cam, pull yourself out. That'll actually distance some of the audio away, so you can hear us a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
We've got the Goodyear blimp, baby.
Yeah, I pulled in some strings to get that guy over up top. All right, looks like everyone's starting on some qualifying times. Oh, you know what? We just missed something, and I'm going to go ahead and give him the go-ahead. Everyone, please stand up, take off your hats. We're going to go ahead and run the national anthem.
And is that Bronson Cheramani going to be driving the American flag around once again?
That's correct. Let me lock on to him. We're pushed for time, so
we're okay because we're going to go up. We had some lag time last time.
Yep.
We always got time for the national anthem.
We do, and I think he might have started without us. Oh, nope,
no,
he just got the green.
He does not start without us.
All right, Bronson, if you're listening, you have the green flag. Go, go, go.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say.
One.
Well, that's the best way to start out here, and I'll tell you, nothing greater than being the U.S. of A. You know, if we can't go racing in real life, well, we're racing virtually. And I know in real life it was a warm day out in Arizona, so I'm glad a lot of these drivers are probably pretty happy, Scott, that they're sitting in their houses, the air conditioner, and parts of the country where it's heating up and hopefully killing off that coronavirus.
Did you say warm day in Arizona?
Yes.
Warm?
Scorching.
Really?
Scorching. Let me get that right.
Egg on pavement, without a doubt. Yeah. You know, I'm still trying to comprehend the fact that this is not real.
I know.
Wait, this isn't real? Sorry.
Yeah. Everything is so. It's so realistic, and I go back to the days of Pong. I remember my uncle had one, and I thought he was rich. And now, seeing some of the rigs that these guys have at home, some of the sim setups and everything, simply astounding.
Oh,
and my wife is looking at me, shaking my head with what I have.
Well, I believe it was one of the F1 drivers had one sim that's worth about $250,000, and you know it gives you every simulation, and you know Things you probably didn't ask for.
Yeah.
It's pretty
That's
sick.
a loaded statement. Well,
Yes, I will lift you that softball. And on that note,
now, Dave, are you? It just sounds like you're in the back of the room a little bit. I can. You're still hard to hear.
okay, I could actually turn me up a little bit there. How about that?
I think that's actually on Discord side for you. You need to adjust that volume. On my side, it's tuned for the broadcast.
Okay, I won't touch it then. I didn't touch it.
Okay, cool.
So I hear Randall great.
Oh, that's weird.
Huh. All right, well, let's turn you up a little bit then.
Just a little bit? Am
Yeah.
I a little quiet? How about that? Is that a little bit better?
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Randall, yes.
Peanut butter and jelly.
It just sounds like Dave's about 10 feet from his mic.
No, it's right in my mouth. That's weird.
Yeah, that just might be your audio tuning. Well, it looks like we're going to be grading up and getting ready for the pace lap.
Okay, well,
we'll
I'll
deal
try to
with
talk
that
louder.
We can deal with that later.
All right, so we're getting the grid set up here. Looks like
Heat
for
number 1.
heat number 1. And Scott probably doesn't get to see the screen that we're seeing here. Here he's getting the actual whole shot of the track. So we're going to have Talon Martin in the number 11, Holden Heitritter in the 512, Trey Eggleston in the 590. We've got Randy Merritt in the 223. We got Andrew Carlson in the 62. Casey Eggleston, which are going to be Brody Eggleston actually, in the 514. Mason Prater in the 13. Dean Wheeler Jr. in the 849. Looks like Anthem Davis in the 60. Corey Weller in the number 24. And Ronald Zwicky in the 42. 11 drivers in this heat race.
Some very familiar names as well, too.
Yes.
Corey Weller did very well. I actually watched this on, Fox Sports last weekend?
Yep.
Or last week. Andrew Carlson did really, really well. Finished second, I remember that. But just seeing some of the actual pro drivers getting involved with this as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, some of the names that we're going to see out throughout this, Alan Impudia, he just came off a win in the Baja. Of course, his big brother, Rodrigo. And then Brody and Trey Eggleston, a couple of our mod kart drivers. Mason Prater, he's making his debut when we do have some short course. He's got his new Pro Light there, Scott. Pretty excited about that. Scott, can you hear me?
Scott?
As soon as the engines fire up, I lose Dave completely.
Oh, you're
that's
going
weird.
to need to cut the engine volume then. We can try and turn up the Discord volume.
Yeah, everybody's telling me it sounds good. I've had a couple people. Joe Chapman just chimed in.
Yeah, I wonder why it's not kicking up.
Yeah,
for
I don't
him, though.
know.
That's weird.
Trenton said he can hear Scott. He's in love. He's like, it's a blast from my past.
Well, I know Scott and I are the first announcers that he ever heard for him racing.
All right, and it looks like pace car's off and we're getting ready to go green.
Wow, did I just hear myself in an echo?
Yeah, that's Leighton. Leighton, you're echoing.
Did I just hear myself in an echo?
Hey, I like listening to myself. Stop.
And we are green. Front pack taking off. Looks like a Talon Martin holding the front.
Talon Martin, of course, running those colors that he does run when he runs in his mod carts there.
Oh, and a punt by the 511. Good landing on that one.
Man, if we were able to listen to the spotters right now, there'd be a lot of chatter going on right now trying to calm those drivers down.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And a few shoves and a few fist shaking, too.
That's one thing I've been actually pushing for is I want these guys to actually have spotters with them. I think that would help a lot of the driving.
Well, as we look, it's going to be the number 11 out front
Throughout
there.
this whole broadcast, guys, this is so new to me, so please be patient with some of my crazy questions. But with some of the racing action on lap number 1, is there a race control? Or
There is. But since this is a heat race, they're not going to throw any cautions most likely unless they completely wipe the whole field.
Well, it's not so much the cautions as it is some of the driving that I'm watching.
Welcome to esports driving. People like to rub a little harder. They don't have to worry about their paycheck or their pocketbook getting a little light.
Yeah, the virtual fiberglass is a lot cheaper. All right.
It's about $20, I think.
So it looks like you got the are out of order there because I do see Holden Heitritter out front.
Sorry about that.
Justice Brothers car. Talon Martin right behind him, reminiscent of his own car paint schemes. Now, Scott, I didn't know if you knew this, but these guys actually go to some of these graphic artists and they actually do the schemes up for them for their trucks with all their sponsors, colors, all that cool stuff.
I think we lost Scott again. Scott. Yeah,
he's just like, he's in a
so
trance.
mesmerized.
He's like, dude, this is awesome, bro.
I think for right now, maybe adjusting your audio settings and just turning off the engine noise might help, and then we'll tune it later if you're okay with that, Scott.
I've got the engines completely turned off. In fact, I'm turning everything off.
Oh, okay. So then we'll just keep with the action, and then when you're ready, just let us know, and we'll bring you back in. And it looks like we actually have a caution out on the track.
Yeah, yellow flag's out, so it's going to be Holden Heitritter, Talon Martin, looks like Randy Merritt, Trey Eggleston, looks like Dean Wheeler Jr., Andrew Carlson, Brody Eggleston, Mason Prater, Antho Davis, Corey Weller, and Ronald Zwicky. Now, there's a name you're probably real familiar with, Scott, Andrew Carlson.
Yeah, I mean, what a great program. 7 years ago now, I think it was, basically came out of the snowcross snowmobile racing ranks and made a splash in short course off-road racing instantaneously. And he's won in Pro Light, he's won in Pro 2, now he's running around in Pro 4. So very, very good driver, no doubt about it. And he's very much a student of the sport as well.
Yeah, that's very cool. And, you know, I always said, like my motocross guys, and I can say that now about the snowcross guys, they seem to really translate well into these trucks.
Yeah, it's reading the dirt, reading the snow, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't think there's anybody better at reading the dirt and the conditions better than Johnny Greaves or Ricky Johnson. Those two guys absolutely know how to do it.
Not one argument out of me on that one.
You got to throw Deegan in there as well.
Yeah.
But and then Andrew Carlson. How do you read snow on a snowcross track? I don't know, but that kid was doing it.
Yeah, you got to have some good vision. See those peaks and valleys, And like you said, the Ricky Johnsons, the Jeremy McGraths, they really translated well, coming right into it. I think Jeremy had a longer learning curve when he was in core. He did okay. Really came in later in when he got into the Lucas series, but the guys like you said, Johnny Greaves and Ricky. I mean, as soon as they got in those trucks, they were stars. All right, we're still on caution flag here. Not sure what's going on.
I think there was a comp caution in between that heat just to get the pack back up.
Yeah, well, they're
because I didn't see any crazy
jockeying around here a little bit.
Yeah, and truck lights are off, so we should have a shootout for 3 laps to go. A three lap shootout's gonna be heavy because usually the track after 4 laps is when they start to spread out a little bit.
I always say, Scott, think of these heat races like Mod Kart Kids races.
It happens.
Yes. Crazy. Great shot as they come down off the ski jump there.
Yeah, I had to pay someone extra to do that.
Yeah, I like that under chassis shot. Was that Wee Man we hired for that one?
No, I actually I dug a hole and put someone down there. All right, here we go.
All right, we're once again green. Heitritter, Martin, Merritt, Eggleston, Wheeler, Carlson. Wheeler and Carlson battling back there for that 5th place. Oh, we got, looks like someone went up on their lid there. Couldn't see exactly.
Yeah, couldn't catch that one.
Turn number 2. They did their turtle spin. Heiritter's got a good little lead there. Randy Merritt in hot pursuit. Trey Eggleston in the 590. And then Carlson starting to move up to the pack.
And it looks like he just got a little bit of a slide job and started rolling. Look at that.
Yeah, somebody went over teacup over kettle.
Up in the catch fence?
Yep.
Yeah, and he is caught. Speaking of catching something, don't forget to get your critical hit bass lures if you want to catch a big bass fish and not a guppy. That's what you want to use.
Use a lure, not a catch fence.
Exactly.
So it's High Ritter, Eggleston, Merritt now. Merritt moves up to second. Trey Eggleston back to third.
Oh, and I think we just had a friction roll on that one. That was
unfortunately Trey Eggleston, 590.
Yep. That's one thing about these trucks is they sit high, so you come into that corner a little too hot and you grab, you're gonna roll.
Now once again we're racing the Pro 4s.
That's correct.
So you got that push and pull.
Yep, Pro 4s with open setups, and you can see that guy just pulled himself to the side there. And there we go, crossing the finish line. That was Holden Heitrider, followed up by Andrew Collison and Dean Wheeler.
So we are going to take the top two, or top
should be. So there's Oliver cleared it up in the chat. It was right. 16. Go to the feature.
We're making this stuff as we go, Scott.
And it's if we're taking a full 24, then we should be taking the top 3, I believe. 4.
Well, I mean.
No, we take top 2.
Top 2.
Yeah, it's top 2. So
I was going to say, if you took 20 to the main that qualified and 2 heat races.
We have 4, though. So
2 and 2. 2 and 2 is 4.
Yep.
Divide by pi.
You're making me do too much right now, man.
Take the 6th integer, reverse it, and then you got a negative number, and then we'll get back to 24.
Oh, man.
So, that was our math lesson of the day.
What in the hell did he just say?
It's all about the numbers. So needless to say, 24 are going to the main. 2 out of each heat race. 20 have already qualified. That's layman's term.
Hey, Scott, can you hear us better now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got my first of many stupid questions here tonight.
Fire away. I'm here to answer them.
I've got on the side of the screen. I've got results. I'm looking at that.
Okay.
How do I get rid of that?
In the lower left-hand corner, there is a results page you can click on.
I'm laughing because I'm going to be doing the same thing to him.
Do it again. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Click on it twice.
Yep.
All right. Well, looks like we've got our second heat race gridded up here. We've got looks like.
John Zimmer running the Death by Moose Media paint scheme. We have Darren Hardsley.
No, it is Hardesty, a.k.a. Hot Sauce Baby.
That was my bad. I wanted to throw an L in there.
That's all right.
Colton Burns.
Michael Lawrence, I got him now. It's usually Mikey.
Now, Dave,
yes.
About Lawrence Equipment, do you like tortillas?
I absolutely love tortillas. In fact, you know what yesterday was? It was Taco Tuesday. And I think I had a tortilla made by Lawrence Equipment.
There you go. All right. Sorry,
Hook,
a little
line,
inside joke.
Sinker. Critical bass lures. Critical hit. All right, so we got Cameron Griffith in the 39, Keith Calhoun in the 199.
Oh, Keith. I know Keith. Hey, Keith, how's it going?
Scott Pastrana's number, huh? Dylan Lemberg in the 59, Michael Meister, one of our Buggy Boys, 37 of Eric Jacobus, Sean Kelly in the 177, and Adam Daffner, one of our Pro 2 drivers.
The Dirt Man.
The Dirt Man.
Welcome to the club.
I just love Adam and his group. Just kind of show up. They're on their own. They do it all that. And, he's making it happen. He's making a dream happen. And that's what's so cool.
All right, looks like John Zimmer leading the pack right now, followed up by Darren and Colton.
Hardesty giving him a little love tap from behind.
Uh-oh. Someone riding the outside. Getting back on the track.
Ooh, gotta love how these Pro 4s be able to suck them back down. Got it back down on the 4 wheels that come off the ski jump. Into the right-hander.
Oh.
Zimmer, Hardesty, Burns, Lawrence.
Looks like Hardesty wanted to chuck himself in there.
Darren Hardesty, a multi-pro buggy champion. Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. One of the Bill Stein drivers. Of course, Mickey Thompson tires from many years. Hopefully we're seeing him coming back, I hear.
And a nice slide job around turn 1.
Nice little parade of trucks off the back straightaway.
So Eric Jacobus up into the outside retaining wall.
Yeah.
But it's, dude,
It happens.
This is like some crazy stuff.
See,
now, when
that's
it comes, I'm watching these things. The suspensions. Now, are these guys able to set
Yep.
up their trucks? You know,
yes, sir.
spring rates, compression, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Valving.
Rebound.
Man, they're all so soft.
Yep.
I got to sit into a conversation with Leighton on setups, and he blew me away. So where you guys, think I'm speaking gibberish, I had to take notes.
No, see, Scott and I would understand that.
Yes.
That's the difference.
Now, also, one of the things that are very intricate part of setting these trucks up are tires and tire grooving. Are they able to? Is there the option to
Tire
grooving
pressure.
patterns?
No, tire
Tire
pressure.
pressure only. We wish we could groove, but not today, is what they said.
Ironically enough, that was one of my first questions when I first started doing this. Are they grooving the tires?
And and the comp caution is out.
So Zimmer, Hardesty, Burns, Lawrence, and looks like we got Griffith, Calhoun, Lindbergh, Meister, Jacobus, Kelly, Daffner.
Who's that guy driving your truck again? Because he is hauling.
Which one?
The pace car.
Oh
The
yeah,
pace truck.
that's Gary Lane out there.
Yeah, one of the best drivers I've probably seen. That guy can drive
Fastest
straight over whoops.
fastest 70-year-old you ever see.
Yeah, I need to see that guy in a
Dave?
Pro 4.
Yeah.
Dave, I've got a little story about Gary. When him and I were working together at Core, we had a nice little air there on the pace truck.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's Gary.
We did an event display down at the Thunderbolt Regatta at the boat races in San Diego.
Yeah, Mission Bay.
And I'm following him, towing a race car, a show vehicle.
Yep.
And I'm following him, and he's got one on the trailer. Somehow he got between the gates at a train crossing.
Oh.
And there he sat.
Oh
And
no.
I'm sitting outside the gate, going, how did he do this? But no train came, luckily. Gates went up, and he took off.
That was a golden horseshoe placed somewhere on his that day.
And if you, I found out too, if you play the right song, he starts to dance with himself.
Oh.
That's nice to know.
I've seen him dancing in the truck a few times.
Yeah.
He's
Gary's
one
such
fast
a cool guy.
dude
I
on
miss
a.
working with him so much. Such a fun guy.
Oh yeah,
And
fast
really
as hell on a
great
bike.
ambassador to the sport, and a very, very fast, talented flat tracker.
Yep.
That's cool.
Over 70 and over 60 champion.
By flat track, you mean those dirt bikes that that they take on the oval?
Yep, he's like 72, something like that
You know
now.
what? So on that same topic, I didn't know this, but Japan actually gambles with flat track street racing, and
Yeah.
I actually got into that. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, they gamble and everything over there.
They do.
On boats, everything.
They do a flat track setup. They do a street bike, and then they have another bike. So they put all three against each other. It's crazy.
Oh, right now running second is Michael Meister out of the Midwest. He is a multi-time, very young guy, but multi-time champion in the super buggies.
Yep.
And he got into off-road racing. He is so meticulous on his setups. Very, very smart kid, but he learned everything as far as that goes from racing RC cars, where he was really good at as well.
Oh, that's awesome. You can see the Ponzi right on the side there. Replica of his buggy.
And it looks like we have one lap to go before we have that caution lifting.
I need a cough button. We were talking about these trucks. The suspension seem a little soft. I'm watching the pace truck.
So
This suspension's a little stiff.
when it comes to iRacing, the dirt track isn't one for one. There is some physics that are different. So what you might see where some people see like rallycross and stuff like that, where it's higher RPMs in the real life, a lot of the driving in here is actually low RPMs around corners for the speed. So it's a little bit different, but really what iRacing brings to people is as realistic of a race you can get, but it teaches you how to drive next to someone, and it gets you into that mentality of racing next to someone without, having to really hit your pocketbook too hard.
Yeah. If this was real life, there'd probably be 2 trucks running right now.
Yeah. And here we go. Pace car is off.
All right, once again, we are green, green, green. Zimmer, Hardesty, Burns, Calhoun, Lawrence, Griffith, Meister. Looks like Kelly getting by Meister there. That could be temporary. Looks like Lemberg and Daffner. And how about Darren Hardesty out there, junior? You know, that's another second-generation off-road racer. Or third generation, I should say. Grandpa's been throwing the mud around a little bit.
And I just want to point out, John Zimmer is having to fend off 3 people for his lead. That is a tough, that's a tall order.
Well, it looks like Burns got by Zimmer, and Zimmer now to second.
Not yet. Don't count him out. He's going to take the inside line.
He's working on it.
Oh, Keith Calhoun going for the roll.
Oh, big flip there right on the front, or actually in the back straightaway. Now, Scott, do you see it every once in a while when the trucks disappear? The glitching?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you'll have to keep an eye on there. And sometimes some of the trucks will appear in each other, and that doesn't happen really good in real life, so you can imagine on the track here.
No, I've watched a couple of NASCAR races, and they've got that auto reset or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Can they do this during a race?
No,
as well?
so with the Pro Trucks, it's a little bit different. If you reset, you go into the pits, and you have a tow time of about 10, I think it's either 5 or 10 minutes. It changes or it varies per track. But plus, all it is, the reset, is pretty much just, it's like having a brand new car sitting for you in the garage. So they still have to tow you off. They got to get you into that car, suit it up, and then you got to get back on the track. So they do add some time for that.
Oh, geez. Kind of like, what's the point?
Now, what if you limp into the pits?
Then you can do your fast repairs, and you can get the new car.
Yeah, which is a lot faster than getting towed in.
Exactly. So if you're still alive, you're better off limping in than pressing the tow button.
That tip brought to you by Critical Hit Lures, to lure you to the pits for a new truck.
And it looks like we have our finishing Colton Burns and John Zimmer taking the top 3. Or sorry, top 2.
Top 2. So it's going to be, oh man, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it looks like we're setting the field here for our. Wait a minute. Are we having 3 heats?
4 heats. That's what I said. 4 heats. We take 2 from each. We have 16 going in to the feature.
Okay, so it's still going to be 24 total.
That's correct, yes.
All right. So we got, it says Thomas Elliott Watson, but it's Elliott Watson for sure.
Just to inform Blinks in the chat, no, it's not something like that. What's going on? These are the heat races, so everyone's pretty much fighting for their position. In any heat race, I don't expect anyone to hold back. So you're going to see people pushing and rubbing as hard as possible. That's just what happens in heat races when it comes to iRacing. These guys want to be in the feature event, and they have one shot, and they're going to do what they can.
Man, that almost sounded motivational.
It is. It's true. Dude, I'd be doing the same thing. You saw John Zimmer. He fended off whoever's riding. I think that was Dan. Dan kind of came in to put.
Darren Hardesty.
Sorry, Darren came in to push him out of the way, and John pushed back. He took him into the corner because he was trying to fend him out of that triplet. That's a tough one to do.
As Scott knows, Pro 4 can get physical.
Yeah.
A lot of side-to-side pushing. So we got Thomas, Elliott Watson, Christopher Hamilton in the 15, Keegan Krieger in the 47, Corbin Leverton in the 43. We got Blake Butler in the 71. Hey, Corey Winner. How about that? The 67 Fabtech baby. Austin Fishfarner, Fishistics, back driver in the 14. Chris Newer, Sparko, the 45. Trevor Layton. What's up, Trevor? In the 31. Jeff Shelton, 58. And Caden Danbury, the 27. Scott, how's that for some pro drivers?
Speaking of Trevor, I actually helped him set up his PC for this.
Trevor Layton?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor. Yeah, definitely awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually building him a PC too.
Another snowcrosser turned off-road racer.
Yeah. And wow, that is heating up in that mid-pack.
Jeff Shelton, Pro 2 driver. Corey Winner, Pro 2 driver. He's going to be campaigning in the Midwest this year. If we ever get racing.
It'll come back.
Of course, Elliott Watson, now factory Honda driver. And you can see he's got that Honda paint scheme on it. So it's Watson, Hamilton, Krieger, Leverton, Butler, Winner, Farner, Newer, Layton, Shelton, and Danbury. So, Scott, that's kind of a who's who heat race, wouldn't you say?
I think we possibly.
Did we lose Scott? I heard him cough.
I
He
did.
needs his cough button.
That's probably what he was doing.
Someone give him a honey throat lozenge.
Those things are delicious.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man, but yeah, no, this is a who's who's race, and like we were talking about the heat races. If you're not in the feature, it's
Yeah.
anyone's game, and you want to put everything you have on the line. So
Most definitely. Looks like Watson right now is letting it hang out, sitting up front, goes into the right-hander, turn 3.
Oh, Christopher Hamilton trying to come in on the 47 there.
Hamilton and Cregan going at it for sure. The battle for second. Corbin Leverton, Blake Bullitt. Scott, you still with us?
Possible technical difficulties. We'll just roll with the show.
Either that or he's just engrossed in watching the racing. I kind of get lost in it too sometimes.
I do too. That happened last time we were commentating. I just got stuck watching the cameras, and then I was like, "Oh wait, you're talking to me." But let's talk a little bit about the sponsors for this series. We didn't really get a chance to mention them.
Well, I usually try to get them in here, but I'll tell you, it's so great. We just had Rigid come on. We got Sparco, of course, Rigid Industries, Sparco Safety Equipment, K&N Filters, Lawrence Equipment, Bomber Eyewear. It's not just clean.
It's super clean.
There you go. CDC Apparel, AIM Data Acquisition, AIM Sports, and CBR Performance Products. Now, here's the cool thing. Third place in the series overall is going to get a $200 gift certificate from K&N, $175 gift certificate from CBR, and it samples the super clean product. Get some T-shirts, some hats from them. Get a goodie bag from Sparco. You get some Bomber Eyewear and $100 cash from Lawrence Equipment. Second in the series, going to get $200 gift certificate from K&N, $325 towards CBR. You get 6 samples of Super Clean, another hat, T-shirt, some cool stuff. Goodie bags from Sparco. Get some Bomber eyeglasses and $400 cash from Lawrence Equipment. And then the overall winner for the series walks away with $500 cash from K&N, $500 gift certificate from K&N. That's $1,000 right there. $500 cash from CBR. You get to 6 get some pit crew shirts.
Yep.
Made up out there from CDC Apparel, and get some more Super Clean product. Gift certificate towards Super Clean product, and how about $200, $250 cash, plus a $500 to AIM products. And then Sparco stepping up with another goodie bag, which I think Leighton told us he got some racing gloves.
Yeah.
What are those things?
Those are the HyperX gloves.
$125, something like that?
I believe, no, those were $75 or $45.
Or $75. It's the other ones that we're looking at, the $125.
Those were the Tide 2020s.
Yeah, the Tide 2020s.
With the touchscreen.
Oh, yeah, brother. Those gloves are on right now.
Those gloves are on. There's Leighton.
Just as you know.
Man, you see I threw that critical hit lure out there and I pulled Leighton right in.
We are green. And one more thing to point out. I just got a message from our Rigid guy. Rigid is throwing in 30-inch RDS for the series winner.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Look at that. Light up the night with Rigid, baby.
Yeah, those guys like to come out and really support the drivers.
I just installed 2 Rigid 6-inch LED light bars into my truck and my bumper. Oh,
and they're looking
man,
good.
They look sharp and they are bright. Oh. So still looking for Scott Rain. Did we find him?
Hey, Leighton, could you possibly pull Scott Rain and help him out if you're not in the race?
I think he's doing a track
walk. You with Scott?
Could you pull him down to the next room and help him out? See if he needs any help.
He's on a walkabout around the track. So it's Elliott Watson, Christopher Hamilton, Keaton Krieger, Corbin Leverton, Blake Butler, Corey Winter sitting there. Hold on a second. Let me rephrase that. Let's get our ticker right.
Oh.
So it's Elliott Watson, Corbin Leverton. I looked at the ticker and I looked at my drivers. I said, that's not right. I know Watson's out front. I can't miss that Honda power plant there. Corbin Leverton sitting second. Chris Newer.
Uh-oh. The 45 giving him a quick turn.
Leverton's getting into trouble there. A lot of fiberglass being left on the track, virtually.
That's correct.
Grieger, Hamilton still going at it. Corey Winter. And Trevor Layton moves up into sixth, gets by Winter. Farner sits eighth. Shelton, Danbury. But does anybody have an answer for Watson? Look at Watson run.
Look at his time, too.
Look at him go. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, running a 35.929.
He is literally 2 seconds faster than everybody else.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to be, at least when he gets to the feature, he's going to have a chance to work his way up before that comp caution and then get himself into that front pack.
I keep on seeing that number 15, and I want to say Marty Hart.
Look at him fight for it. He's trying to get to third place.
Yeah, look at that. It's nose to nose.
Oops, sorry about that. 1 second. And that's actually going to round out our top.
There it is. It's going to be Watson, Leverton.
Yeah, Watson,
Hamilton.
Hamilton is going to be not able to make it into the next heat.
So
into the next feature.
Watson and Leverton.
That's correct.
Okay, so we saw best of Elliott Watson with a 35.929. I'm going to write that down here and take a look because that's another one to keep an eye on.
Oh, never mind. We announced the wrong light bar. Well, we'll get the facts straight. Sorry about that, Antho, but I'll get the right light bar. It's a light bar.
No matter what you get from Rigid, it's awesome.
Exactly.
I have one of these little Rigid Industries flashlights. Holy crap. I've got one of the big mag, cop light ones.
Yeah.
That little tiny with their little lithium battery is brighter than that big old bag light.
Oh, yeah.
And I spot coyotes in the park all the time with that thing. Which I think you can still order those on Rigid Industries.
Yeah, I think so.
On there. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. Heat number 4. It's Brock Dickerson in the 49. Dustin Nelson. How awesome is this? The 53. Chance Haugen, the 18. Oh, it gets better. Michael Loomis in the 26. Eric Simon in the 63. Brody Graham in the 66. Oh, boy, the photog himself for Lucas Oil. Jason Zadrowski usually takes pictures of these trucks in real life. He's in the 25. And we got Brandon Bailey in the 29. Donald Holcher, Daryl Gibson.
Yep.
So, Brandon, are you filling in for Maddox? Would you kick Maddox out of the chair? or is Maddox just using Pop's credit card?
Well, I believe he might be using Pop's credit card, I believe.
Because Pop's not a bad driver himself.
Well, then he might be stepping in. Like, son, let me teach you how to do this.
Yeah, well, he did teach his son how to do that. Brandon, one of the former MAV TV Pro 4 drivers for the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series.
That's awesome.
Yep. Family out of La Quinta, California, formerly in Riverside.
Oh.
He was feeling the heat down there today, I'm sure.
Brock deciding to cut in a little sharp.
Now, Brock Dickerson, boy, oh boy. You want to talk about a fast driver right there. That guy came out of short course, been killing it in the desert.
I believe Brock's using one monitor. I saw him clip into his guy next to him. This is going to be a beater.
Beating and banging. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
10 laps. Make up the distance here. Heat number 4.
Dustin going a little too hot, coming on the outside.
And the Fox Shocks back machine, the 49 out front. Nelson in the 53. So used to calling him in the 94. Someone must have 94 already. Former factory, or actually still a Yamaha driver. Oh, man.
Haugen getting the roll.
Haugen getting punted. Come on, Chance. Get on the gas. Get right on there, Loomis, Graham. So it's Dickerson, Nelson, Graham, Haugen, Simon, Zendrowski, Holchert.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Dustin's vehicle so you guys can see a little bit of what he sees out there as he comes over the tabletop there.
Former Yamaha motocross racer, UTVs, or ATVs and UTVs.
And those triplets are so, what's the word, disorienting, especially if you hit them at the wrong angle.
Well, yeah, and what I've been seeing, a lot of people have been hitting them at like a slight angle, coming out from the inside, and sliding over to the outside, which sets you up for the inside of turn number 4.
Yeah, and you kind of got to do it blindly. You just got to go for it, and it's going to put you there, and you got to trust the fact that you're going to get there.
Beautiful lines there by Brock Dickerson, but Nelson being very smooth. I'm not going to call him an old dog, but the old dog chasing down the young dog there and looking pretty good. Nelson holding his own. Sure Coach Liz watching at home next to him. Chance Haugen, how about Chance?
Oh!
Still sitting third, but oh man, who was that just went flipping off? who just did the cartwheel?
That was someone running in the green. Oh, and there goes your buddy Gary. Let's see if we can find him. There we go. He's coming into view. That is the number 25.
25, that's
Jason
Zendrowski.
Yep.
He was probably trying to get a killer shot out the window with his camera.
Oh, honestly, he was riding really high on that turn.
He was doing a selfie.
Yeah, he was high on that turn, so pretty much his suspension was fully extended. He didn't really get set in, so that kind of preloads you for a roll.
Yep. Now, I did see another, looks like a Honda wrap job there.
I believe so. Let's go ahead and go to the rear chase camera. See if we can find that for you.
There we go. Very cool there. Loomis there and his Loomis Motorsports Honda power on there. Shreddy.
Is that
Daryl Gibson?
I don't see the Honda.
Yeah, I did. Go back down again.
Oh, did I miss it?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's got the Honda logo right
Oh,
there.
yep, I see it now.
Michael Loomis. See, I don't miss a thing. Honda Ridgeline.
Eyes of a hawk.
Yep.
Getting a lot of feedback from Dave's voice on Randall's mic.
Oh, really?
I'll change my angle 1 second.
And I think I got Scott back for you boys.
Oh,
Awesome.
good.
All right, how's that feedback now? Is that better?
Is that better?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Dave, stop it.
Was there an echo?
Scott, you there, bud?
Yep, I'm here.
There we go.
Roger that. There we go. Mr.
There
Scott
we
Ray,
go.
Torque Off-Road Series.
And Dave is still way back in the tunnel.
Well, it's funny, though, because everybody on the broadcast has been texting me and saying, it sounds good here, sounds good here.
Yeah, it might be something in between us. We'll have to work that out.
Oh, what you got to make
it
in
might
between
be
us?
My internet, I don't know, because you guys are breaking up like it's AM radio static.
Yeah, that's actually that's on your internet
Is
side.
that because you're on Cox cable?
The good news is you don't hear it in the broadcast.
Okay.
No.
You see all the little marbles there when it kicks up? It's pretty cool watching the marbling on the track.
I actually I turned down his settings just for the time being because I believe he's on his home PC, so he doesn't have his new rig yet. So I didn't want to cause any conflict with it, like glitching. So I turned down all the settings for him. So
Oh, so he doesn't see all the cool stuff we see.
not yet. It's still pretty cool.
Sorry,
though.
Scott.
Oh, you guys don't worry about anything. Scott is loud as crap, and so is Dave Arnold. You guys are extremely loud and perfect on the Discord or in the broadcast.
What? We're loud?
Yep.
Loud and proud. Let's do it.
Loud, proud, now.
Once again, thanks to Critical Head Bass and 92 Designs. I'm out.
Thanks for the help, Layton.
Thanks.
Thanks, Layton.
Leighton waiting to. He's already made the dance, made the main, so he's waiting for these guys. We've been on this caution for a while.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. We had a so since this is a hosted race, and like I said, we're trying to find the right format to accommodate some of these drivers. We did 4 heats. One of the heats didn't have a caution, so they actually did a race admin. They called over the race radio to tell everyone, hey, slow down, lap 5, do 1 lap pass.
So they gave him extra laps for this one?
No, this one they threw the caution, it looks like, a little earlier. So possibly there was just a hiccup with setting up the track course. And once the caution's thrown, you can't do anything
somebody
about
get
it.
Greg Fouts on the phone.
And there we go. We're piling back up.
All right, I see the pace
guys,
truck.
we got some pretty good names right in 1 and 2 right now between Dustin Nelson and Brock Dickerson.
I know. That's what I said, man. These been like star-packed, heat races.
Yeah, well, this is the place to be if you want to get a good prize and you want to, race.
Oh, race control's busy right now.
They are extremely busy, and these guys put in a lot of work.
Yeah, look at this. We got a lot of contact there in turn 2.
I think we need to make a video. Instead of Be Kind Rewind, it's Be Kind and Lift. Some of these guys like to punch through when they see someone rolling over.
Pretty impressed. This is the first time I've seen Dustin Nelson joining the group here and sitting second. It was like he was the dark horse, the surprise, like Alan Ampudia. When Alan jumped in last week and he ended up, killing it there.
Oh, yeah.
Getting 4th overall over all the regulars. Now Dustin Nelson. But I'm really not surprised. Scott knows as well as I do. Dustin's background is just, championships and you name it, he's driven it or ridden it.
Oh, and the 18 getting up to the back of the 53. Wow.
Oh, man. Haugen and Nelson
You're doing
tied
a great job right now watching Brock Dickerson, and it's like, it's no wonder he's pulling away from the field. He's so smooth. He's not wiggly at all. Doesn't get squirrely coming out of the corners, and just drives it through. He's not pitching it hard into the corners like you see a lot of guys do. They just back it in like they're Steve Kinzer in a sprint car. But he's just driving this thing around, and he's pulling away from everybody, just keeping it nice and smooth and easy.
Ooh, nice reference, Kinzer. I like it. But no one backs it in a Pro 4 like Kyle LeDuc.
And I believe Kyle LeDuc brought up that someone was running his paint scheme out there. And that's going to be it for the last heat of the race. It's going to go to Brock Dickerson and Eric Simon. Simon.
So Simon and Dickerson to the dance. So now we have populated the main event. And the surprising thing, Scott, a lot of the big names in the pro real world are not making it to the main event here, but some are.
Well, that's the thing, is it's a little bit different than the real world.
Yes.
And so that's where you gotta adjust. And a lot of these guys, they mentioned the fact that they don't like the fact that they can't feel the G-force and the gravity.
That was exactly what I think Fish said it best, where you can't feel the speed.
Yep, you can't feel the speed. So it's all on muscle memory and kind of more of a learning to drive with your eyes closed.
Well, I think it's that hand-eye coordination too that most drivers
plus,
do have.
What you're telling me is that there's a chance for schmucks like me to win an off-road race.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Absolutely.
And I mean that literally.
Yeah, that's extremely true.
You can be a student of the sport and really study it, watch different guys' driving styles, learn how to set up the shocks, learn how to different tire pressures, how they work, and address that to something like this, and really, shine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, speaking of student of the sport, so I've been doing the Pro 4 broadcasting since they were originally released from iRacing. And someone that I've seen grown a lot is actually Luke Knupp. He would be, when I first started...
But he's a real driver.
He's a real driver, but the amount of time he actually puts into iRacing is a lot. So when I first saw him, he was probably finishing 6th to 10th place, and towards the end of the season, he was up to the top 4, top 3 for the high octane series. And then he came back with this series, putting in a lot of time, being in the top 1, 2, 3. Almost every race. So, that's a kid right there that's been putting in the time and really trying to show up.
We got some glitching going on.
Yeah, we do.
What do they call that? Net coding?
Yeah, and it looks like we actually pulled the top 3 of some of those.
Okay, yeah, because Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton's there. Okay, interesting.
All right,
and,
so
we're going with more people in the main event. That's why.
All right, from 20 now, see, they made liars out of us. Now there's 27.
Yep.
28.
Yeah.
27.
Like I said, for everyone out there, honestly, the format's been changing. We're trying to find something that fits for all the drivers, so we can get as many out on the track as possible. And so even the stuff gets last minute changed on us, and we don't find out till the session goes up or something like that. We get a rough overview, and then sometimes they're testing it and they go, "Oh, this doesn't work properly. Let's change it." And they're always on a time crunch, so just sometimes you just got to roll with the punches.
Ooh, look at the who's who up there now, Scott. Can you see the Sheldon Creed, the Luke Knupp, Mickey Thomas, Seth Quintero? Let's see, we got Zach Drapkin, Leighton Kramer, Sean Hack, Robert Ormsby, Ronnie Anderson. He just knocked me down there. I see Joe Zimmer in the 50 there. Justin Girding, Alan Impudia, Brandon Arthur, the 66, Roland Johns in the 02, Braden Cheramani in the 73, Holden Heitritter, the 512, Colton Burns in the 307, Elliot Watson in the number 3, Brock Dickerson in the 49, Dan Wheeler Jr. in the 849, John Zimmer in the 50, Christopher Hamilton's going to be in the 15, and it looks like Eric Simon. Then what we got going here, a little few more. Mason Prater. And it's moving around on me. Andrew Carlson, no.
They loaded 40 drivers.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
We got 40 drivers going to this one?
40 drivers on the track.
Scott, have you seen 44 fours on a track before?
Am I seeing the right? Hold on. Oh my God.
What?
Look at that line. I can go to my
if there's 40 drivers, it's going to go halfway around turn 4.
It does.
Oh, it does. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Ay caramba.
I don't know if you remember, Dave, the last year of championship off-road racing.
Yep.
Oh, hold up. I think they're fixing it. Looks like they're kicking some people out. It's 24. It's
like a challenge cup.
Sorry, what were you saying, Scott?
Oh, the last race before the economy tanked and Core closed its doors. I don't know if Dave remembers, but there was 41 or 42 pro lights.
Yep.
36, I think it was, pro twos.
Yeah.
And like 27, 28 pro fours.
Yeah.
And we were getting such the numbers that we were seriously contemplating having a truck-only race weekend.
Yeah.
There was that many trucks out there. I'm telling you, Randall, it was something to see. It was amazing.
What about the trophy carts? Over 100?
Yeah, 140. Was it 140, 141, something like that.
You're like, I mean, I got to tell you, some of these kids, they can't race, because there's that many of them.
And we're talking about guys like R.J. Anderson in a trophy cart. I mean, Brock Dickerson, Sheldon Creed.
Sorry
about that, I remember it was 2 years ago. At one point, the top 3 points.
We're all trophy cart kids.
Guys, we're all trophy cart kids in the ARCA series.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Riley Herbst.
Zane and Sheldon.
Zane Smith. Yep.
In fact, Sheldon's up on the pole on this, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed's on the pole.
Minor technical difficulties.
So we got 24. Okay. So Simon, Hamilton, Zimmer, Wheeler, Dickerson, Watson, Burns, Heitritter, Cheramani, Johns, Arthur, Ampudia, Girding, Quintero, Ronnie Anderson, Robert Ormsby. Then you got Sean Heck, Leighton Kramer, Zach Drapkin, Trenton Briley, Ethan Ebert, Luke Cadup, and Mickey Thomas, and Creedy Creed, Sheldon Creed.
All right, looks like gridding is still in process. Wow. That was intense.
Are the servers melting down with this many drivers?
Oh, I don't know.
Did any of the other series have this many people show up?
In all the series I've seen, no. But when we first launched High Octane, the season 1, we had the same thing happen where we had 60 drivers show up for the first race. It did die off after that, just because not everyone made it. But it's kind of in hot demand right now.
That was
before
over 80 drivers tonight.
Yeah, and that was before we even had the coronavirus. So you're talking about people that were just interested in driving trucks, and they spent the money to get the trucks and the tracks.
Nice.
Yeah. So with the way this league's gone, it's pretty intense how many people they have asking to join pretty much every day. And almost every race we grow like 20 people. They actually had to shut down the league to invite only, so that they could manage how many people were joining.
Randall?
Yes.
Just a little inside information. Don't be surprised if a certain number 48 with the initials JJ happens to appear in one of these.
Oh.
Was chatting last week, I think it was, and that came up in conversation.
We need to get Ricky and him.
I wish they would put light buggies into this. That'd be awesome. I'm sorry, I'm reading the YouTube comments. Every chance I get a second to look over, I always take a quick check. But
where's Jesse Johnson, Jared Johnson? Where are the other Johnson boys? We need to get them too.
Jesse just got married.
I know.
Probably a couple months ago.
Isn't that hard to believe?
And Jared's he's got a restoration. I think he's dabbling in a bunch of stuff. He's working with a race facility, a dirt track.
Oh, cool.
Out in the Charlotte area. But he's running a really nice Mustang restoration company.
Ooh. Oh, nice.
Oh, man, he turns out some great looking cars. Wow.
Something about the people with the last name Johnson seem to be able to drive pretty damn good.
But more importantly, Gary Johnson's out there just enjoying life, man.
That's for sure.
And we got a roll.
But,
all right.
That looks like Luke.
Long.
We're green, and it looks, look at this. We got a tie-up already in turn number 2.
77, yeah.
Ethan Ebert going toe-to-toe with Sheldon Creed right now, but I think we had Luke Knupp roll.
Yeah, he's
like,
second to last in the field right now.
Yeah, he had a toe out probably.
Sheldon Creed able to stay out front and avoid all that carnage. And, of course, Luke Knupp's teammate there, Ethan Ebert, both Ultra Wheels drivers, Ultra Motorsports. And then Trenton Briley in that cow guard machine.
I'm watching Leighton Kramer right now, running clean in the top 5.
Now, Scott, we've seen with Leighton, he has been so fast, but he usually kind of fights up to the middle of the pack, gets shuffled back, but when the second half of the race comes in,
that's when he picks up.
That's when he really starts making his way up to the field. And I noticed that with Alan Ampudia also last week. A couple drivers just to keep an eye on. You know, one of those things you always say, you know, the drivers groove the tires for the second half of the race, or, you know, their truck setup was, you know, for the second half of the race. Well, I think some of these drivers are taking that into account.
I think it's a smart move, though. You're talking about a race that has a comp caution. You're going to have to prep yourself for, you know, getting packed back up and having to run toe-to-toe with some of these guys.
Oh, and also to bring up, Scott, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the track does wear in. You know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the blue groove start to lay down. So some, you know, guys have looser setups, you know, maybe okay in the beginning, but when it gets a little tougher in the afternoon, or I say later in laps here, they start fighting the truck.
You know, especially in the you know, the Arizona tracks.
Oh yeah.
Especially there, with the blue groove and the way everything heats up.
They have a lot of clay in the soil, right?
Now, Dave, I got a question for you. You remember when the competition yellow was instituted?
Yep.
In short course, what did you think of it the first time you heard it was going to happen?
I thought it was stupid. I really did. And then you see a race where drivers really stretched out, and then it got boring. And then you start going, wait a minute, this is actually kind of cool because it bunches them all back together again.
Well, it added a very, very high degree of strategy.
Yep.
Even though it's only a 15-minute race, or around 15 minutes, that a lot can happen, especially when it comes to tires and keeping those trucks and I should say those engines cool. So I mean, it's really changed things up, but the whole reasoning initially when it came out by Jim Baldwin is that he got tired of seeing a runaway.
Yes, exactly.
He wanted entertainment. He wanted to see racing on the racetrack, not a runaway. And you're not the only one that thought that. I'd say about 99.9% of the people, racers, fans, sponsors, did not like it. But after about the second weekend, man, everybody was into it then.
Yeah, no, I mean, it made it interesting again. You're right. And that's what, you know, thing. And I remember a couple years ago, Lucas was going to actually get away with it. And we ended up bringing it back because they saw that runaway happen. And everybody just went, okay, fans are going to go get drinks now. And they actually brought it back and instituted it again. So you never know on that. And it was something they wanted to try to see if it was true. And you know what? I'll tell you, Jim Baldwin came up with a beautiful idea, and it stuck, and it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm going to have to disagree with you guys on that. I'm still on the fence with the competition caution. I feel like it allows people to kind of get a free pass for the first section of the race.
Yeah.
But I still think it's good because it brings them all back up.
Well, Scott, like Scott said, there's strategy.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can be one of those guys that maybe stays out of the carnage and then sets yourself up for that late run.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you firsthand that one of the first guys, or one of the first races that this competition was instituted, Johnny Greaves did not like it and proved a point that it pretty much was the gimme. If I remember right, it was at the original Chula Vista track. He lagged back so far in the first half, almost got lapped. So it put him, when the yellow came out, he was dead last in the field. And now this is back when we had 18, 20, 24 Pro 4s. He started dead last in the field for the second half of the race, came back and won it.
And this is before the quarry, that one, right?
Tell you, Leighton Kramer is really looking. Oh, jeez.
You gave him the broadcaster's curse, man.
Oh, the old announcer's jinx.
Wow.
Well, you know who's actually impressive right now?
Real fast.
Ethan Ebert out front now. Sheldon Creed back to second. Trent Briley holding really strong on the CalGuard machine. And there in the 17. And looks like, how about Sean Heck in the 619? What do you bet he's a San Diego guy?
And it looks like we have the comp caution now. I'm going to run, since we haven't technically had a caution, I'm going to run my quick caution replay, and then we'll be right back.
And we'll take a little look at critical hit. Caution report, baby.
Yeah. And there we go. Just for critical. Since the way they're running these races, they don't throw cautions for carnage unless
we haven't had any really bad where it's actually held the whole field up, so looks like they've done some white clouds in that scorching heat in virtual Chandler, Arizona on the Wild Horse Pass race facility there on the reservation. Shot of Trenton Briley going into turn 3, and you really see that blue groove Scott laying down.
Hey Scott, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Are these guys racing or what?
We're on comp caution right now.
I was saying you can really see turn 3. If you look, a lot of blue groove.
Oh, that in real life, that's exactly what happens at that track too.
Yep.
Turn 1 as well, but turn 3, yeah, they come in through that rhythm section and they back it in so hard, throw it so sideways. Coming into that corner to set up for the next straightaway, that is notorious for the blue groove in that spot.
Yeah, definitely tie one. And of course, with Kyle LeDuc redesigning the track, it's now going to be run backwards in real life.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be interesting.
I wonder how that's going to work,
Yeah.
You do know that some of these guys, depending upon what racetrack they're at, if it has more left turns than right turns, they can set up their truck for that.
Yep.
And you can actually do that in iRacing. So a fun thing we like to do is sometimes we like to take oval dirt cars and we'll set them up to drive as straight as possible and then throw them on a rally course track just for fun.
How's that work?
Really good, actually. They handle pretty well. And it's a lot of fun. The only bad part is when you hit a jump and you bottom out. Sometimes you break some parts.
Well, I think it's going to switch it up because I know when I had a chance to talk to McGrath about this, and he says I can go to track and tell you how to set the truck up for every track, gearing, carburation, to suspension to set up, and not changing it got a little boring. So now they're going to have to get out there and figure the new setups out, and I think that's going to make it interesting for the racers as well as the fans. So as we take a look at the field here, if we get the pace truck off the track here pretty soon, it's Ethan Ebert out front, Sheldon Creed in second. Trenton Briley is going to be sitting in third. You got Sean Heck, Robin Ormsby, Zach Drapkin, Brandon Arthur, Colin Burns, Simons, Girding, and Dickerson. And there we go.
Isn't the rule you have to stay in line until you cross underneath the starting line arch?
Well, I think they take it a little bit looser here.
Did anybody else catch Sheldon Creed popping his head out way early on that one?
I think I've seen him do that in real life, too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, unless you call it, why not? You know?
You're always going to sleep in the gray area.
And Sheldon Green getting up into that soft pack. Well, that's not going to help.
Ebert still holding on the lead. Creed was side by side with him there, looking to the inside. Speaking of Creed, how about that Jimmy Johnson paint job scheme there? In the old days.
That's awesome.
Scott, I don't know if you heard me on that.
I heard Sheldon Creed and Jimmy Johnson, that's all I heard.
Sheldon Creed's got the old paint scheme like Jimmy used to run back in the day.
I see a black truck.
Oh, I didn't set him up with trading paints yet. That's on me. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll get you going with that before the next race. That's
Scott's
on me.
like, they all look black to me.
I can't tell the difference.
I'm colorblind.
Oh my God! Now I'm colorblind.
Well, this is definitely a great race, though, with Ethan Ebert out front into turn number 3. Creed looks down low. Here comes Zach Drapkin and Ormsby, Briley, Heck, Arthur, Girding, Simon, Hamilton, Zimmerman, and Braden Cheramani.
So our leader is driving a red and orange and white truck, correct?
That's correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Ultra wheels on the side.
Yeah, so the way these guys get custom paints onto their cars is they have to use another program that loads the software to it. So I just didn't set that up for you just yet. That was my bad. I forgot about that.
He's like, what are you talking about, Dave? They all look the same. Sorry, I've been too much carbon monoxide from all this iRacing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sheldon Creed is trying everything to get into the lead, and he's just not been able to pull it off right now.
Yeah, Ethan
looks
Ebert
like he's got some. Yeah. It looks like he's got the right driving into the corner angle, the exit angle, but it just doesn't seem to be able to get any forward bite coming out.
Yeah, he keeps on looking a little low. He's right in that groove there. But Ebert, if you watch him, he's been very, very smooth. It was like watching Brock Dickerson earlier. Ebert's got about the same style. How about Drapkin now up into third? The FabTech back machine there. Robert Ormsby, Trenton Briley in fifth. Trenton having a good run. Sean Heck and Brandon Arthur. Dustin Girding, you got Christopher Hamilton. Luke Knupp back up to 10th. Alan Impudia. But expect now to start seeing some drivers make their way up through the pack here. Great shot there of Watson there in his Honda. His happy Honda.
Looks like they're doing a race control.
I'm not sure what's going
caution. They just pretty much told everyone to slow down.
Okay, it looks like everybody's slowing down.
I saw that too, and I didn't see any flags, so.
Yeah, it says green for us here still.
Yeah, so most likely something happened out in the course, and their race command is telling these guys to slow down and pack up.
Somebody catch on fire, and they got to stop, throw red.
Yeah, honestly, that can happen to some PCs. So I could see it happen. Your PC catches on fire, your sim rig's burning. You got to keep a fire extinguisher on hand. That's why I have.
Do they stop, drop, and roll? Do they got fire suppression systems in their sims?
Don't forget to use
Scott, don't pull the red button.
Yeah, you got to use an electrical, what is it? A non-conductive fire suppressant. All right, sounds like they're back up to it. Yep, here we go.
Yep, green, green,
Yeah,
green
that was
once
quick.
again. Yeah. Not sure what that was about, other than somebody got taken to the woodshed, I believe.
All right, let's catch these guys on the jump. Oh, no!
You knew that was coming. You saw it coming to the inside, late braked, tried to do the slide job, and just took out the field.
Yeah, it definitely took him right over. That'd be a great time for a critical hit Bass Lures replay.
Yeah, if we had a caution coming out, I'd totally pull that.
But you definitely see Ethan Ebert and Sheldon Creed just running away with this one already. Good gap back to Brandon Arthur and Trenton Riley. Oh, look at this. Creed's got some momentum on the outside.
But he's liking that inside exit move.
Yeah.
I just don't see it working right now yet.
He's going really wide going in, and then all of a sudden.
No, right here, there's the opportunity to duck to the inside every single lap. He just is not able to make it stick. Look how he's pushing in the corners.
Yeah, you're right. He is.
Huge push.
It's just not getting that grip.
Oh, and a slide job. That was a risky call.
Well, here they go into turn number 2 again, down to 3. The Ultra Motorsports and then Sheldon Creed. And look at this, the Papas and Beer Machine of Alan Ampudia battling with Brandon Arthur. Arthur slides back under, and Ampudia looks to the inside.
Nice crossover.
Yeah, beautiful crossover move.
Man, tight pack going on for third on back. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty hairy back there.
Yeah, Ampudia, Arthur, and Heck.
Racing. Actually, we're riding with Sean Heck right now.
And you can see the Toyo Tires
Ampudia
back
gets
machine
a
there.
little out of control. No, do these trucks, do they have the brake bias?
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Leighton Kramer's got his set up to a rotary switch so he can change brake bias as he's going.
And what he's referring to in the back or front brakes is how much pressure, you're getting. So you can get that little bit of a nose bite to get down, a little bit more front brake, or a rear brake to help you slide it.
And there's the yellow guys.
Yep. Well, we only had a couple laps to go. Well, 3 laps to go, actually.
Yeah, I wonder
looks
why
like it's
they
going to
threw
be
that.
extended for a green-white checkered.
That's correct. And that's one thing with these yellows. They run a mandatory 3 laps, no adjusting it at all. So once yellow comes out, you have to run 3 laps behind the pace car.
So they're going to burn it for 3.
Yep. Now, something to also pay attention to is
how much fuel you have, too.
Exactly, and that's something that changes when you run these when you run a green or white checkered or a caution. That burns more fuel on these trucks, and a lot of these people have waited out their truck for a specific number of laps.
And is that to make it a little lighter and a little bit quicker?
Yep.
So that aspect does come into play.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So you're probably going to see some people maybe sitting on the clutch around some of the corners to just keep the engine, from burning some fuel.
Well, it's what you want to do in a caution. You don't want to burn.
That's when you guys are running clutches. So that probably wouldn't be an issue.
You might want to put it in now, just to keep you floating.
Well, in the 3-pedal setups, they have it, and of course, some of them are running the.
You can also put a button clutch in if you want.
A button clutch, yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of keep, if you need it to coast. There's multiple ways of getting around it. Oh, hey, that's not where you want to stuff your vehicle.
Yeah, who is that into the wall?
That's the number 52.
52, is that Ronnie Anderson?
Yeah, Ronnie.
Ronnie knows better than that. He was running good, too.
Yeah, I think that's why.
That's why he did it?
Yeah,
probably. He was running too good?
Running too good. He wanted to even up the field for everyone.
Well, in all reality, these trucks weren't made to run a 20-minute or 25-minute race either.
No.
So if there's been an abundance of yellows in real life, there's serious conversation with race control toward the end of the race if a yellow comes out, if they just go right to a white flag, green flag, and end the race.
And we've seen trucks run out of gas.
Yes, we have.
I was actually surprised.
Speaking of running out of gas, one of the last races I broadcasted on Sunday, which was Mazda Miata's around an oval course, they actually, the top 2 guys ran out of gas and coasted around turn 3 and 4 into the finish.
Impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a 100-lap race with Mazda Miatas. It's pretty funny to watch.
So does NASA have their own little Mazda thing? Is it what is the series for Mazdas?
I don't know.
Mazda Cup or
for
I know like NASA is like an IMSA, which they have NASA.
Yeah.
They have that. They race a lot of Miatas. I wonder if they had their own iRacing part of it.
I don't think so. I never looked into that.
We need to organize the workers.
So, guys, we go green, white, checkered.
Here we go.
What's your call? You think Sheldon's got something for him?
Oh, I don't know,
or
man.
Pudia, for that matter.
And Pudi has been real surprising in the last race, this race.
I honestly, I think Ethan's going to be able to hold it. He's done a really good job, and he's shown that he can be a top competitor.
Him and Luke have been real solid, but Ampudia was solid last week, already sitting 3rd. Creed, he like you said.
Creed is one of the few guys to be able to hang on it. Once they bounce off that wall coming out of the corner, he's one of the few guys that actually be able to hang on to it.
Yeah, that's true. He can make magic happen behind the wheel. Ebert.
I got to admit, guys, surprisingly clean race between the top 3 right now. Just, coming to the white flag?
Well, I was actually impressed right now, 4th, 5th, and 6th, staying real close together, no contact. You can see how tightly they're bunched.
Oh, slide job coming in on Ronnie Anderson.
It looks like Hornsby also and Knupp trying to go up there. Drapkin.
Knupp running the outside line.
Yeah, looking for a fast way around.
That honestly is probably the fastest, riding the outside. Stay away from those guys pushing that inside and just bumping.
And Scott, I can see what you're saying. He's really coming too tight there out of turn 3, and he's scrubbing speed. Creed trying to catch up to Ebert. Ebert pulls away.
And you can see Creed is actually adopting a little bit of Ebert's line right now. So
yeah.
This is going to change up.
Exactly.
Oh! Somebody went off the K-rail on the front straight, flipped all the way off out of turn 1.
And that is going to do it.
Wow.
That was fast.
That was fast. That was a fast green-white checker.
Yeah, it was.
So it's Ethan Ebert, Sheldon Creed, and Alan Apudia. Very impressed.
Yeah, what a run by a lot of these guys. All right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Scott, at Randall, we're going to go ahead and try and bring in Alan Apudia, Sheldon Creed, and Ethan Ebert into the booth. Get a little talk on with them.
Yeah, also, Ethan, Creed, and Alan, if you guys are listening, I know I don't see you guys in the race chat. That's not mandatory anymore, so please populate into the general chat, and I'll pull you guys over to the broadcasting booth. Yeah, with that many cars on the track, this track blue grooves so fast. I'm really surprised all of the drivers can
It turned
keep
into
handling.
asphalt, it looked like.
Yeah. All right, Scott, what do you think?
So,
give me your opinion.
Somebody doesn't want their motor real bad.
Yeah, I can hear them standing on the gas.
No, the graphics are phenomenal. It's really interesting because I can see real life driving styles are the same on here.
Yep.
It's so crazy to see something like that. Specifically, what I watched in Sheldon Creed. This is the first one that pops in my mind. His driving style, the last half of this race, is exactly how he drives in real life. It's crazy how it translates to something that you see on a computer monitor. Everything about this is dead spot on. Dead spot on, guys.
Now here's a question, Scott. I wonder if you might know. And I meant to ask these guys this, but with Sheldon now going into the NASCAR programs and ran the ARCA and run the Truck Series, does he have access to a sim rig a little bit more than most people would? the last couple years?
I think he's got access to just about any damn thing he wants
Yeah.
because he's Sheldon Creed. And I don't mean to be sarcastic or anything like that, because everything he touches, he wins with.
Yeah, it's true.
He's a little bulldog. He shows up at a new track, in a new car, in a new series. He doesn't take nothing from anybody. And I've been following him and watching him. He's not intimidated by one person at all. He's very mild-mannered though, and kind of to himself a little bit, kind of quiet. But man, no, he's not intimidated by one person, no matter what series or what race it is in that series. The guy is incredibly talented. Probably one of the best ones that have come out of short course.
Yeah.
All right, so sorry to interrupt you guys' banter. Looks like we're waiting on both Alan Impudia and Sheldon Creed to pop in. So we're actually going to be taking Ethan Ebert first, and we're going to do it a little backwards. Oh, nope, Sheldon just showed up. Alan, come on. All right, we'll pull Sheldon, and then we'll do Alan, but let's get this interview going.
Who are we talking to?
Sheldon Creed.
I haven't heard of him.
Okay. Sheldon, you're in the booth.
Oh, all right.
Sheldon!
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Just playing some video games, man.
Just like an average day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you going absolutely crazy not driving something with a real motor?
Yeah, it's man, it's been getting old. It's been 50-something days now, so just looking forward to it. Our schedule came out today, and hopefully we're going back racing at Charlotte on May 26th, so looking forward to that.
Sweet.
Hey, Sheldon, this is Scott Rain. I noticed in the second half of this last race that your driving style in real life on an off-road track is very much the same of what we watched right here.
Yeah, I don't know how to set these things up, man. I constantly just sit here and play with them, and these kids, man, I don't get it. They're so fast, and that just there at the end when it gets super slick, I get really tight, and then I just have to start throwing it in and just keeping the tires spinning pretty much, and then it just hurts drive off. So I don't know.
Sheldon, are you running a button box with your setup?
I don't even know what that is. A button box? What's that?
Pretty much.
I don't even know what that is.
Are you running pretty much it's extra buttons so you can actually set brake bias and stuff like that, and maybe some changes to your vehicle as it's driving?
Yeah, I did do that. Like right after I lost the lead, I put like rear brake into it, but I went all the way, so I pretty much had what I had at that point.
Okay.
I don't have an e-brake, which I don't really like them anyways, but I don't know. I just need to figure it out more.
I mean, I'm
well,
sure.
Is it fun though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To say you're having fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to tell you this too. Coming out of that last corner, everyone that was bouncing off that big banking on the outside would just lose it, and you were one of the only ones, if not the only one, that when you would slide wide, come to the corner on exit, you would bounce off that banking, and you just hang on to it and kind of utilize it as a little bit more traction. It seemed like.
Yeah, if you hit it right, I don't know if it's a glitch in the game or whatever, but your tires stay on the ground and you just get that much more drive, and you just have to like be ready to turn the wheel pretty much when you hit it. But to answer your other question, yeah, it's fun. I mean, iRacing has been so big the last few weeks with this whole deal going on. And, I don't know, I've been just bouncing around, playing different things, playing dirt midgets, doing sprint cars, and I think I have the most fun doing this just because all my old friends are doing it from off-road, and it's just something I love. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun.
Well, I got one last question for you. Get away from the off-road world. I should say the sim world. You've driven everything there is known to man, except I don't know. Have you driven a top fuel dragster yet?
No dragster stuff.
What has been your favorite car so far on a racetrack?
Oh man, I'd say a Pro 2 is up there. A stadium truck's up there. There's asphalt cars that are fun that I've driven. But man, the dirt stuff's probably the coolest. I mean, lightning sprint stuff. I don't know if I have a favorite, but it's definitely in the dirt that I like the most.
Well, it's been fun watching you, man. Nice job running tonight.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah, awesome job, Sheldon. Do you want to thank anybody? And I know you got some sponsors that do make your livelihood, and of course, reason you get to afford to play these sim games is probably a little help from them.
Yeah, I mean, I got Team Chevy. That's fine. We're on the old Jimmy Johnson Chevy Thunder truck here.
That's what I was pointing out to Scott. I didn't know he couldn't see the graphics. I'm like, man, that's a Jimmy Johnson Thunder truck. He's like, kidding.
Yeah,
He's like,
I mean,
it looks the same to me.
Design them, nor have I had someone design it. So
I saw it was a black truck, man.
I just picked a Chevy to run, and just having fun with it, really.
That's awesome. Anyone else you want to thank?
I mean, just everyone that helps us out at GMS Racing and keeps us racing. My grandpa.
We love Maurice.
Trent Shoring. I mean, that's pretty much it. Our program's pretty small. We make a lot with it, so just thanks to those guys.
Well, congratulations. Say hi to your dad, Scott, and Grandpa Maurice and the whole family, and congratulations. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Sheldon Creed, second place, everybody.
All right, next up we have Alan and Pudia. Alan, this is the booth. You copy?
Yep.
You are live.
Hello, guys.
What's up, Alan? It's Dave Arnold.
Much.
Dude.
Drenched in sweat.
Man, after last week and then now the podium, dude, where'd you come from?
I don't know. The very back, I got rolled in the second lap, I think, and had to go into the pits when I lapped down and then just charged.
Yeah, I told him, I said, watch the second half of the race. Watch Alan.
I don't even know. There was like so many pallets. I kept getting hit. I was battling pretty good with Brandon Arthur for a little bit, but then, I just kept pushing, and suddenly I found myself in third and just kept it there. I didn't even try to go for a second or first. I just played it safe.
Well,
wait a minute. Did I just hear Nampudia said I played it safe?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because it's not real life, you know? And like kids don't care. They just want to take you out and try to get that third spot. So I just had to defend my position and play it cool like that. And hopefully one of the guys in the front made a mistake, but obviously they didn't. It was cool. It was cool.
It's kind of an oxymoron when you hear that of an Ampudia. That's for sure, Scott.
Hey, I wasn't playing it nice the whole other time.
No, hey, man, I'll tell you what, though. When they gave it to you, I think you were a little bit nicer than you should have been on a few of them, especially after you got rolled.
To be honest, in the practice race yesterday, I got black flag, so I didn't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Here, so I was just like, even if they hit me, I'm just gonna, try to just get through them and not play it dirty or, just give them the door back. But, it all worked out today.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, especially when, Sean Hack and, Trenton Briley, and of course, they were right up there. You had to get by Anderson too, and it was like the last couple laps, and all of a sudden, it's like the door opened.
Yeah, there was definitely a little opening there, and I was like so stoked, and then suddenly they threw the yellow, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to get all these kids back on my bumper.
I know it's been a long time, but just hearing you say all those kids.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you were.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm still young, but I'm definitely getting way older. But all these, chubby car kids and all these kids coming up, definitely, know what they're doing, and they've been in racing for a little bit, so they don't know what fear is, especially in the simulator.
Yeah, and of course, if they want to know fear, come down and race Baja with you, right?
Oh yeah, I'll take them for a ride in my trophy truck, and then they'll know fear.
Yeah, just hand them the pins right before you go.
Yeah, wearing diapers is a must.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude, it's so awesome, and of course, your whole family's so involved with racing. And what about getting Aaron and Rodrigo doing a little sim racing with you?
Actually, Rodrigo is building his for the Lucas race Friday.
Friday night.
Nice.
We're both going to be racing on that.
Sweet.
So we're pretty stoked, and we just need to get Aaron a Sim 2 and get him racing. But Friday should be a good race. Obviously next week.
I think you might have a little edge over Rodrigo after your last two performances if he's just building his rig. If he's building the rig.
Yeah, he was building it today, so I'm definitely gonna put up a session and go practice with him and give him little pointers so we can battle it out.
Awesome. Scott, Daniel, any questions for Alan?
No, I had a great time. I met him at the KOH. He was out there hanging out.
Yes,
so I'm at the mid 400. Hell of a job there. Best of luck, man. I just remember you when you were one of the kids.
One of the trophy card kids.
A long time ago, it feels like.
But no, like Dave said, your family's so involved in motorsports. It's so cool to see you come up through the ranks and now being one of the superstars in off-road, man. It's really cool to see you again.
Thank you, guys. I mean, just trying to follow in our dad's footsteps. Hard work pays off, and we're trying to keep the ball rolling, and hopefully, once this quarantine is over, we can get back to real racing and go for more wins for sure.
That, and you got the Baja 500 coming up in July, and probably a big party at Papas and Beer for that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's gonna be a big party once this quarantine's over. You bet.
Whoop whoop.
But thank you guys for having me, and I'll see you guys next week for sure.
Say hi to the fam, man. Good talking to you. All right, Alan.
Likewise, guys. Bye bye.
All right. Well, we got one left, and he's the man standing the tallest on the podium, Ethan Ebert.
Ethan Ebert, you're in the booth. You copy.
Yeah.
Top of the box, baby.
Oh, crazy race out there, man. Gosh.
Yeah, talk about a little pressure there.
A lot of pressure. Just trying to be in front of Sheldon and everything like that. Man, it's insane.
You're going to have to learn how to kind of do a proverbial break the draft, because Sheldon is actually learning your racing lines. So I think next race you're going to have someone a little closer than you like to have him.
Yeah, Scott said early in the broadcast that Sheldon was trying to change his turns up, and all of a sudden he goes, "Oh my gosh, now he's following Ebert. Look at him, he's right on him."
Yeah, it was real scary because I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep just running as fast as I can. And I was like, man, he is still there. And I was just trying everything in the book, and he was still there. So it was just a crazy race. He's been getting way better and better this whole racing season.
Now, with all the practice you've been putting in there, and, Sheldon mentioned about some of the maneuvers going outside, sliding and hitting that wall, and, keeping, your speed up. And that's some of the things you've learning with some of the tricks now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it really depends on, the track mostly, too. During the end of these races, the blue groove is so bad, you just have to pull the handbrake and hope for the best, really, just to try to get the truck sideways and going through the corner. But, it's been getting really crazy because everyone's evolving, getting better setups, getting better at driving lines and everything like that.
See, that's interesting you said that on the handbrake, because when we talked to Sheldon says, I don't like the handbrake, I don't use it, I changed my bias, where I was just back brakes only.
And he was saying that his truck was getting tight on him, so maybe he needs to go pick up a handbrake and get himself going.
Well, it's interesting to see how the different driving styles, like Ethan's talking about. But Ethan, I got to say, you looked very smooth. That was the whole thing. You hit all your marks, and you weren't jerky with the car.
Right. That's just what I've been trying to maintain, because I try to put as much effort as I do in the real racing. So I try to do everything that I would do on this track normally in my mod kart. And I just try to transfer mod kart driving to the iRacing in Pro 4.
That's awesome. Scott, any questions for Ethan?
No, I'm still learning this guy. I kind of
that's right. He's still pretty young. That's right. Okay. Forgot. I'm so used to knowing most of the kids that have grown up in it.
So, no, I enjoyed watching him because everyone seemed to be squirrely coming out of the corners, going into the corners, pitching in too hard. But I noticed that you were driving in almost like it was pavement. You weren't overly aggressive. So what gave you is you came in real nice and smooth. You didn't get squirrely coming out, which gave you more forward bite. And it's like you did every corner. And for quite a while there, you were pulling away from Sheldon with that kind of driving style.
Right. I just try to keep my hands as smooth as I can, just working on seeing if I can get it as smooth as I can, because it's only one turn, not multiple turns. And so I try to transfer that from my brain into my hands. And when I'm doing that, I just kind of flow with the racetrack and the race car, and it just all comes out perfectly. And with the great setup that Luke Knupp has given me, it's just amazing.
Well, very awesome. I got to say, very impressed how smooth and how good you've gotten. We've watched you climb through the ranks to now to the top spot, and can say keep it up. And I know you got some sponsors that in the family that makes this possible.
Oh yeah, I just want to thank Ultra Wheels for sponsoring me, and I want to thank everybody that sponsors the series, my family for watching, people from all over the place watching the series. It's growing bigger and bigger, and I hope it can just keep thriving as it is. And it's just really great racing all in all.
Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations, Ethan Ebert, standing tall on top of the box once again.
Thank you.
Awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, good run, dude. Good run, Ethan.
Have a good night, man.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right, that is going to pretty much wrap it up. What a run. Thank you, both Scott and Dave, for doing this. It's awesome to have talent in the booth. Leighton, thank you for hooking us up with Scott.
Yeah, dude. Scott, I want to thank you for just the last minute kind of yesterday. And I want to thank you guys, dude. Moose, Dave. Moose, I don't know if anybody knows what goes the amount of work that goes into broadcast, just so all of you followers listening right now. I mean, Moose, he works 10-hour job, comes home, works 8 hours on doing this. I'll be on the computer at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's still on there trying to get overlays right, just so you guys can see what lap we're on and what position is what. So hats off to Moose and Death by Moose Media and the team over there for doing a phenomenal job. It's not just grabbing a computer and talking. I mean, you got a lot. His computer has to run 3 times stronger than any of our computers. So if we all have $1,000 computers, he's probably got a $3,000 computer just to be able to broadcast all these trucks and talk in the same time. So I mean, that's a pretty good feat in itself there.
Yeah, I got quite an investment.
Yeah, you're making him blush.
Yeah, I want to thank Randall for Leighton's. Thank you for the phone call or for the text message. Even though I didn't have your number, I'm like, who the hell is this? What?
It's that guy driving down Sturgis, looking in that
He wants
semi.
me to do what? And then this afternoon, I should say, it was yesterday, today.
It was around lunchtime.
Yeah, I woke him up. So when you said he's on the computer 12 hours a day, blah, 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 bullshit. Because I messaged him today and I woke him up.
I was taking a 40-minute cat nap, okay?
But Randall, thank you so much for hooking me up and walking me through this whole process of getting signed up and tuned in and all this kind of stuff. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be trying to learn how to navigate through this whole thing and get much better at this for next week. So, guys, thank you for including me in this whole deal.
Thank you,
it's been
Scott.
a blast.
Thank you for coming in, man. I had fun. Good talking to you, brother, and hopefully we get you back in the booth on Wednesday.
Hey, real quick, any of you guys out there get into the sim world, understand the sim world is backed up 3 to 5 weeks. It's hard to get a PC, a headphone, what's essential, what's not essential. Have no fear. New Line is here. New Line Products is going to have a new sim rig dropped out within a week or two, designed by Nestor, obviously the founder and father of the trophy carts, where 80% of this field started out here. So stay tuned for that. You guys will have sim rigs. You'll get it firsthand. It'll go out to this group. All these guys following, start reaching out. We'll start selling some sim rigs.
So I'm just throwing this out there. I'm building a computer. I've got the wheel and the pedals. Now I need something to put them on. I'm just throwing it out.
just need a New Line sim. All set. Nestor tunes in he loves our show. He loves the broadcast. He coached half these kids. He builds half these kids' cars, and
I remember standing in Lake Elsinore with Nestor and Randy Roberts for the first kart race ever and going, what the heck are these? Oh, my God, he created a monster. And we thank him every day for it.
Yes, sir. Also, I want to thank the boys over at Shreddy Shack, Wilkie, Dave Reed at Approved Memories, Nikki Wood at Critical Hit Bass, and Chris James over at Battle Approved. Mic drop, boys. I'm out.
Thanks, Leighton. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up once again. We'd like to run through the sponsors and thank you guys. That's going to be Sparco, Canyon Filters, Super Clean.
It's not just clean, it's super clean. We've got Bomber Eyewear, Sparco, Canyon, Lawrence Equipment, AIM, and CBR. all make this possible, including Rigid Industries.
That's correct. And then once again, my broadcast sponsor, Critical Hit Bass Lures. If you're not going to use Critical Hit, you might as well not even fish. So for everyone out there that's still listening, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. We'll actually have a giveaway for that. But when we get to that point.
And I just want to throw this out. Coming out next month issue, Dirt Sports World, the iRacing edition. We're going to have a lot of going on there.
That's correct.
Going to show a lot of the racing going on and showing some of the drivers how they're spending their off time during our pandemics going on in our world. And, Dirt Sports World brings you all the action from short course to desert to rally to whatever you do and enjoying the dirt. We're the voice of off-road.
That's correct. And, Scott, do you have any last plugs?
No, I'm just looking forward to next week and learning how to do all this crap.
I'll help you out, man, so don't worry about that. Once again,
thanks, guys, for the blast.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, everyone, for being out here. We really appreciate all the help, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days.
See you out of here. You're going to hit me up, Dave, at Dave Arnold Live.